Beautiful ladies and handsome men, I am not sure what's true or false in this story. I take gossip, tea, rumor, and scandal from yesteryear, from online, from word of mouth, from books, and I ball it up and I tell you guys a story. Now, let's get to it.
I know that's right.
It's Big Bag busting out the Bentley, Bentayga, Men, Balenciaga, Ashley Beckett, all you itches stuck. Yes, I got my energy on me, honey. My Scentbird came in. Now, y'all know that Scentbird is a fragrance subscription service that allows you to try new designer fragrances every month for just $17 a month. And y'all also know that I've been rocking with them for the last 2 years. And baby, they shows out every single time. They done sent me this Ari by Ariana Grande. And this is the sexy, feminine one, honey. Smell like you've been eating marshmallows and fruits all day. Got that Brown Girl by Lamu. And honey, they done right. Because I'm a brown girl and they stuff smell good just like me. Has a lemony fresh smell. Christian Siriano, all Naturel. This the one you want to have on when somebody come up close to hug you, baby. Because you're going to be smelling like coconuts and peaches all over. You get a ton of fragrance that really lasts longer than 30 days. But don't tell Scentbird though. But then they come in these cute little cases, honey. You just close them up like this. Yes. They got over 600 fragrances, and some of them doggone fragrances $500 on the store shelf. Ain't nobody finna be paying that. Click the link below to visit Scentbird's website or app, or even scan the QR code. Use my code below, Ashley Says So, for 55% off of your first month. That's around $8 for your first month. You can't beat that. All right, this is Ashley with Ashley Says So, and I am back with another old Hollywood scandal. And today we're going to be talking about Miss Denise Matthews, aka Miss Vanity. On this here internet, it is a lot of y'all who acted like y'all really knew Miss Denise Matthews. So I fully expect some fact checkers to come through here as we go through all of these rumors on Miss Vanity. Let's get to it. Denise Katrina Matthews was born on January the 4th, 1959 in Niagara Falls, Ontario. Her mother's name was Helga and her father's name was James Matthews. Now, Denise has several siblings as well as half siblings. As a matter of fact, gossip claims that this lady right here who appeared on Coming to America is actually her sister, and her name is Patricia. And if this is true, maybe she grew up with Denise and played with Denise, as it's said that Denise had a huge imagination when she was a child. Gossip claims that she had dreams of becoming a princess or a singer. And although many children have huge imaginations, maybe Denise was imagining all of these big things in order to get away from a bad childhood. Because the folks say that her father was a complete brute. Now, I'm not sure if he beat on all of the children, but gossip definitely claims that he beat on Denise. It's also said that he verbally abused her. Now, some people also like to say that her father, James, actually abused her. But me personally, I didn't see anywhere where Vanity actually said this. I did see that she said she was actually abused, but I think it was later found out that it was actually a family friend that did that to her. Either way it goes, she still went through hell with her father. And if Vanity was going through hell, her mama was going through Hades, hell, and Gehenna. Gossip claims that Helga was beat almost daily, and this kind of abuse and mistreatment led her to being an alcoholic. Some articles go even far as saying that Helga abandoned her children. So if that's the case, that's pretty weird for her to just go and leave knowing this man is crazy like that. But you know, I don't know which story is true. Whatever the case, I do know that there was no relief for Denise until she turned around 15 or 16 years old, and that is when her father died. Denise did indeed feel free when her father died, but there was some confusion with this feeling because of the way her mother reacted. The folks say that Helga took James's death very hard, and she ended up falling into a deep depression and even deeper into alcoholism. She even made several suicide attempts, and I don't know if this was because life had just gotten too hard for her or if she wanted to go join James. I don't know what that was about. Thankfully, none of those suicide attempts ever worked, but I tell you something that sure enough almost worked. Now, I don't know if Helga was drunk or sober at this point, but I do know that one day she got into her car and ended up having a car crash so severe that it was said to have thrown her through the windshield, even left her with some brain damage. So yes, Denise's childhood was dark as heck during this time period, and rumor has it that the children at school did not make it any better. The folks say that the black children harassed and bullied her because of her skin tone, her long hair, all of that. But soon Denise found a group that was really sweet and kind to her, and that was white guys. All the folks say that they love Denise, honey. They talked on the phone with her. You know, she dated a couple of them. But this was all behind closed doors. Child, the folks say that if Denise even attempted to let the public know that she was talking to whichever white guy she was talking to, baby said them white boys would dismiss her, act like she was crazy, shoot, probably even cussed her behind out. Once Denise found out that she was basically a secret to them, a fun time to them, this hurt her so bad that she ended up changing school. Thankfully, out of all that scandal and mess, Denise did have some joy, and that was competing in pageant. And this culminated in her winning the title Miss Niagara Hospitality in 1977. Still though, Denise's home life was getting to her, and she wanted more. She wanted a better life, and she also wanted to chase her dreams. So eventually she ended up running off to New York. Gossip claims by this time she was going by the name Dee Dee Winters, and she was starting a modeling career. And by 1978-1979, she had done so well that she ended up signing with a modeling agency. However, this brought on unforeseen trouble, because when you sign with an actual agency, you get sent for bigger and better paying jobs. The only problem is that you're up against bigger and better competitors. So although Denise had a beautiful face, she could not swing it with those tall ones with beautiful faces. So she decided to focus on acting as well, and this took her to California. By the time she did land in California, she was back to using her government name, Denise Matthews. Also, by the time she moved to California, gossip claims that she ended up meeting a well-known musician by the name of Rick James. And the folks say that when Rick James laid eyes on Miss Denise Matthews, he wanted her, and he wanted her bad. He was instantly enchanted. And when they finally did start talking, and Rick James found out that Denise wanted to be a star herself, he even offered for her to be the lead singer in a new girl group he was creating, the Mary Jane Girls. So Rick James, Denise Matthews become a couple. Rick is proud of his woman. She looks good, so he has her on his arm everywhere he goes, every function. And one of these functions that he brought her to was the 1980 American Music Awards. But if Rick James knew the kind of trouble that was coming along, he probably would have left his pretty little girlfriend at home. And yes, this trouble was an artist known as Prince. Now, I've touched on this meeting, I think twice, once in the Prince video and once in the Rick James video. As a matter of fact, I may have gone a little deeper into it on the Rick James video. But by now, I have even more updated alleged information. So gossip claimed that Vanity was at the awards show with Rick James when she ended up going backstage. Prince's manager, who she did not know at the time, came up to Vanity out of the blue. This guy says something like, you know, hey, I got my client with me. He needs somebody to escort him to the bathroom. I can't do it. I'm on a schedule. You know, I gotta get Ghost. Can you please escort my client to the bathroom? Vanity, trying to be nice, is like, you know, okay, cool. Prince comes walking over there, slurring, got a little drink in his hand. He and Vanity are walking to the bathroom, and he's being a little bit rambunctious, you know, because he's tipsy. Well, when they get in the bathroom, he says something like, "Ooh, girl, that jacket you got on is fly. I like that. Can I try it on?" And Vanity giggles a little bit. You know, she thinks this guy's kind of weird, but she's like, you know, cool. Yeah, you can try it on. Prince tries it on and starts modeling, you know, checking himself out in his princely way. And Denise is kind of just checking him out. You know, she really feels like this whole ordeal is just silly. And she also thinks that Prince is a gay man. Well, baby, that gayness disappeared in thin air because gossip claims that Prince turned to her full on, lowered his deep brown eyes, and kind of walked up to her all sexy like. And you know, Prince just exudes sexual energy, you know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure Denise's heart is like skipping a beat. You know, she must think this guy is about to kiss her, but he doesn't. What he does do is ask her for her phone number. Denise hurried up and got to writing out the phone number. And then after that, allegedly, she blushed and walked away and took her seat beside Rick James, but honey, it was over for braid-haired Rick. All Denise could think about for the rest of the night was this new artist that she met named Prince. And Prince must have been thinking about her as well. Because the folks say at 3 o'clock that very next morning, Denise's phone rang and it was Prince on the other line. Now, although Denise must have been thrilled that Prince was thinking of her the same way she was thinking at him, when she turned around and looked at the time on that clock, she went off. She told Prince that how dare he call her at such a late hour, and that she was a respectable woman, and that if he wanted any of her time, any of her attention, he would call her back at a decent hour. And baby, you know Prince was probably sitting up there with them 3 lens glasses on with his hair blew back, and most likely wanted to tell Denise, girl, F you. But it was something in his spirit that just did not let him do it. He was truly attracted to this girl. As a matter of fact, gossip claims that he saw himself in Denise. And so the folks say that he did end up calling her back at a decent hour, and that turned into a double date with Denise, Prince, Morris Day, and one of Denise's friends. And after that double date with Denise and Prince, it was pretty much a done deal from there. So Prince and Denise start going out, and soon, just like Rick James did, Prince asked Denise if she wants to be a part of his new girl group. And this group is called The Hookers. Now in this group, Denise will be performing alongside Susan Moonsey, as well as Brenda Bennett. And Prince's vision for The Hookers was for them to be some real life hookers. He was even trying to give Denise the stage name Vagina. And at this point in their relationship, Denise hadn't really questioned Prince on much, but this right here, she told Prince that he was doing a little bit too doggone much. And Prince begrudgingly agreed, and so he ended up giving her the stage name of Vanity. And the closer that Prince got to Vanity, the more in love he was with Vanity. He wanted everything to be about her. And so he ended up renaming the Hookers to a group named Vanity SIXX, and made Vanity the lead singer, replacing Susan Moonsey. And Denise, who I'm actually going to start calling Vanity right now, okay? So Vanity was pleased with this treatment. She was flattered. But soon she became unflattered because she quickly found Prince to be a controlling egomaniac. The way he saw it, they were his creation and he was the mastermind. He would tell them what to sing, how to dress, how to dance, how to look, how to pose, just everything. And Vanity, who had not really shown the headstrong side of herself because she was headstrong, but she had not really shown it this far, started now kind of showing her headstrongness, especially when it came down to the way that Vanity SIXX dressed, the things that they wore, because Prince wanted them to wear lingerie, you know, barely nothing. And Vanity would say things like, we're not really comfortable with this, you know, I don't see why we couldn't wear something else. And Prince would be like, yeah, you know what, that's a great idea. You can wear something else at your job at Burger King, because if you here with Vanity SIXX, you're gonna wear what I tell you to wear. And if Vanity still held out, that is when he would basically tell her, like, you're not performing with the group then, you know, or you're not gonna be paid. So she did it. Now, Prince tried as hard as he could to make Vanity SIXX go at the beginning. And they had some good songs. As a matter of fact, their song Nasty Girl ended up going #1 on the chart. But he really couldn't get them completely off the ground, and some rumors even say that he gave up on the group too quickly. I'm not sure, but I know it had to be very frustrating for everybody involved, but none were more frustrated than Vanity. And that's because while she was running around talking about, tonight I'm living in a fantasy, my own little nasty world, in her real life wasn't no fantasy to be found, baby. You see, while all of this Vanity SIXX girl group stuff was going on, Prince and Vanity behind the scenes had really enmeshed themselves together. They became very in love, especially for Vanity. She was Prince's lady, he was her man, but he was also everybody else's man. And Vanity could not deal with this. And what made it worse is at the later stage of their relationship, gossip claims that Prince and Vanity even ended up living together. So a lot of his cheating was pretty much done right in front of her face. You know what I'm saying? Like, the evidence was right there. And Prince was a man with a lot of women. So there were plenty of times when he and Vanity would kind of just be out on the town hanging out, and some girl would just pop up out of the blue talking about some, Prince, am I supposed to meet you at the studio tomorrow? Go somewhere else. Here come another one. Hey, Prince, I'm ready for our session. And Vanity standing over to the side like, hell, for what session? And this would happen like this because Prince was a revolutionary. He was a man with a lot of ideas, a lot of visions, and most of these visions, he needed females to be his muses. So Prince would see a female that was fine or that gave him some ideas, and he would come up to that female and start talking to her about working with him, singing with him. And there were a variety of these women, and that would be okay. But 9 times out of 10, Prince started sleeping with them. And gossip claims that Vanity tried to bite her tongue at first. And it's gonna get messy right now because I'm gonna just tell you what's out here on these doggone streets. Gossip claims that the real reason that she tried to bite her tongue at first is because Prince had pretty much made it clear straight out that he was a man who liked to have a harem of women. He basically said a lot of women belonged to him, but Vanity really belonged to him, like she was his number one. Vanity probably agreed to that mess in the beginning, but child, she was in love now. Vanity sitting up there like, listen here, you curly head bastard. Now, some of these other women may not mind you having a harem or waiting their turn, but I'm Vanity, aka Denise Matthews. Baby, I've been fine all my life. And I don't have to deal with that because plenty of men would love to have me and take care of me. So you're either gonna be my man and drop all of these other ones to the side, or I'm leaving you behind. And when she did this, she probably felt like, I'm putting my foot down and all of this good stuff. But Prince was not a man to be told what to do. So when Vanity was doing all of this, he probably just kind of laughed in her face and kept on doing what he was doing. Or he would just pull out this other persona where he would just clam up, not say anything, maybe even grab Vanity's face and give her a passionate kiss, and then go on about his way still doggone cheap. So the gossip on the old Hollywood streets say that this led to spectacular fights. One story that claims that Vanity and Prince were in a car and they were arguing most likely about Prince's cheating ways. And Vanity is going slap off, honey. Well, gossip claims that Prince stopped the doggone car, told Vanity, I don't have to take this from you. If this is how you feel, you could just get out of my car right now. And Vanity, being the snap type of woman that she was at that time, did indeed get out of the car. And Prince, being the kind of snap man that he was at the time, was said to have sped off and left her behind on the side of the road. Then you got the story that Prince himself told a little bit of, and that was when he and Vanity were said to be fighting by his swimming pool. Well, Vanity is most likely going off like usual, and Prince says something to the effect of, if you don't shut up or leave me alone, I'm gonna throw you in that pool right there. And Vanity says something to the effect of, you ain't finna do nothing because you can't throw me in the pool with your little bitty ass. Little bitty bitch. And she probably didn't say all that, but she definitely said something close to that, to which Prince responded, you know what, you sure right. I can't throw you in the pool, but what I can do is get my bodyguard to do it for me. Don't ask me if Vanity's frizzy head was thrown into the pool. I have no idea. This is all the story that I have. Now, Vanity is reacting the way a lot of females in this predicament would be reacting. But one must wonder, if Prince basically told you that this is how he operates, he has a harem of women, and this is what it is, if she kind of felt like things would be different from her. Because I truly do believe that Prince told her straight out that he has a harem of women. Because when Vanity met Prince and came into his life and his group, the Hookers, he was dating Susan Moonsie, which is one of the reasons why she was the original lead singer of that group. So rumor has it that Vanity came up and snatched him from Susan Moonsie. Well, snatched him by the title, because baby, gossip claims that Susan was definitely still getting laid down. And if that is true, that Susan Moonsie was still messing with Prince while he was with Vanity, this is the prime example of what I mean. Vanity could see Prince cheating basically right in front of her face. And child, allegedly, Sheila E. was getting banged up on the backboard by Prince. Baby, listen, some folks have said that Prince and Sheila E. started messing around at a later time, but the rumor that he cheated on Vanity with Sheila E. is definitely out here on these streets. Whatever the case, it was clear that Vanity wanted a true monogamous relationship and Prince wanted to do him. And another cause for contention in their relationship is that Vanity had her own mind. She gave him back talk. He couldn't just tell her what to do and she'd obey. Y'all remember in the Prince video when I said there was a rumor out here that Aétai tried to take her Skippy's scooped up head into Prince's salon and get her hair done, but Prince told her no, she got to go somewhere else. Well, if that was Vanity and Prince told her no, she likely would have cursed him out and went to go to his salon anyway and said something, boy, I'm getting my hair done in here. So Prince hated this in Vanity. He hated all this lip and back talk, but he also loved it because he saw himself in Vanity. That was him. So he and Vanity were pretty much twin flames. So the relationship, a lot of the time during the relationship, was mostly in a state of uneasiness, kind of like Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor. As a matter of fact, baby, I hit that on the head, because as a matter of fact, Vanity at a later time when she was older actually said, I thought me and Prince were going to be like Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton. So yes, that's exactly how they were. Well, hot and cold mixed together pretty much causes a storm, and this is what happened to their relationship. It started to break down. Prince continued to step out on Vanity. So the folks say that Vanity started kind of being in other men's faces. She became very flirtatious and started sometimes being seen with other stars. But I'm not sure if she slept with anybody at this time. But you know, what she was trying to do is make Prince jealous. She wanted him to see what he could lose so he could lock her down. But unfortunately, she was making a crucial mistake. Prince might have been a hoe, but he had this thing in his mind about wanting his women to be very innocent, very virginal. He did not want them to open up to nobody but him, period. And although at this time, she possibly was not sleeping with anybody else, in the future, most people believe that type of behavior is what really messed her up with Prince. But we'll get to that in just a moment. So as of right now, like I said, Vanity is just becoming kind of more flirtatious, more outgoing. Well, Prince didn't really outwardly show jealousy, but gossip claims that he came down on her on the business end. Per gossip, Prince would kind of restrict her pay or not pay her much. Like one point while she was singing, she went on tour with Prince. The folks say that Prince only paid that girl $250 a week on that tour. When it came to Vanity SIXX's hit song, Nasty Girl, rumor has it that Prince pretty much took all of that money. It was like he wouldn't pay her enough money to sustain herself. So this also becomes a problem. Like, it's been a problem for a while. Vanity has not been getting paid for a while, but now that some years are in it, you know what I'm saying? These are things that are really starting to bother her. And then the most unhealthy thing of all, the rumors are, is that Vanity and Prince were doing drugs at this time. Vanity herself used cocaine because she was depressed. And then it's also said she used cocaine to keep up with their work schedule. Although all of this scandalous, unhealthy, toxic mess was rumored to have been going on in their relationship, in the world's eye, Prince was Vanity's man. In fact, Prince made sure to pose with Vanity on the cover of the 1983 Rolling Stone magazine. This made it clear that when it came to the public view, he wanted them to see him with Vanity. So they were holding on for dear life to their little struggle relationship, that is until Prince started to prepare for Purple Rain. Now, when Purple Rain first came into existence or started off as a baby, it really seemed like it was going to be a slam dunk for both Prince and Vanity. Prince even allowed Vanity to write some of their scenes together for the movie. What turned things sour was when Vanity asked Prince how much she would be paid for her role in the film. For some unknown reason, Prince fixed his light-skinned mouth to say $5,000. And Vanity, being who she was, looked around like, who finna get paid $5,000? And Prince was like, you? And Vanity was like, oh no, the heck I'm not. I wish I would. Sit up there and settle for doggone $5,000 when somebody over here is offering me $350,000 to be in their film. And that was the truth. Berry Gordy and his shiny church shoes had shown up, and he wanted Vanity to sign with Motown, and he also wanted her to star in his new movie called The Last Dragon. And it was things like this that irritated Prince, that, I hope I'm putting this right, that kind of made him look at Vanity like she was not loyal. How dare she entertain the thought of being in somebody else's movie over here? You know, how dare she not see the vision, not see the dream? He was trying to do something spectacular here. You know, how dare she risk that? He looked at Vanity as an extension of himself, instead of looking at her like her own person. This girl is not just here to make your dreams work. She shouldn't be so tied up in you where if your career doesn't work, her career doesn't work. Or her pay depends on how you're feeling at the moment. She needed to be able to sustain a life on her own. $5,000 for a movie and somebody's over here offering $350,000? So Vanity loved Prince with all of her heart, but she was getting tired of this crap. Tired of him controlling her career but not really doing much with it. Tired of him not paying her what she was worth. And lastly, tired of him for continuously and still cheating on her. So rumor has it that Vanity asked Prince one more time, Could he raise her pay? You know, what would her pay be? And Prince responded, I can't do no more than $5,000. And so Vanity said goodbye. She immediately dropped anything and everything that had to do with Prince. Not only did she drop their relationship, she dropped all of their business ties. After making her decision, it's claimed that she did end up signing with Motown, and she also ended up starring in the movie The Last Dragon. And from this point on, it really seemed like Vanity was going to have a long solo career by herself, whether it was her singing, movies, especially movies, but her tail almost messed up at one point though. Now baby, you know the folks was very upset in 1986 where she sat on that doggone talk show with Joan Rivers and called her black daddy a gorilla. Baby, the Hanes came out real quick on some folks, but luckily it was forgiven quickly and forgotten quickly, and the Hanes came back in and everybody moved on. And we could continue to talk about Vanity's work in show business, but that ain't tea, is it? It sure ain't, child. So let's get back to what allegedly happened in her personal life after Prince. The scandal, child. The scandal. Let's get to it. Now, after Vanity and Prince broke up, gossip claims that she definitely gave him a gut punch. And that is because one of those guys that she was so-called flirting with and so social with, she was now dating. His name was Adam Ant. Then you have the people that say that she was already messing with Adam Ant before she broke up with Prince. Whichever one of those is true, Prince was not happy. And per Adam Ant, he actually saw Prince at a function when he was arm in arm with Vanity, and baby Prince seemed like he wanted to put the hands on him. Now, Adam Ant didn't describe it this way. What he said was there was violence in the air. But you know what that means? Prince basically mugging him, looking him up and down, and probably was wanting to steal on him. And seeing that he was getting some sort of reaction from Prince actually emboldened Adam Ant even more, so much so that he ended up releasing a song about Vanity called Vanity. Prince was said to be livid over the song, but it did not matter much because the next year in 1984, Vanity broke up with Adam Ant. Allegedly, she moved directly on to Billy Idol. And all of the rumors say that she definitely made this choice in order to make Prince jealous. So that relationship was over probably within a couple of months, and then gossip claims that Vanity moved on, allegedly, to Mr. John Stamos. Honey, the folks say that they were shooting a movie together called Never Too Young to Die. I suppose one thing led to another, so yeah. Well, of course, every single guy that Vanity had messed with thus far, word had got back to Prince for all of them. And you know, in the past and stuff, he usually refrained from showing a jealous energy to Vanity. I guess when you heard about that pretty boy John Stamos, he just could not contain himself any longer. So let me tell you about it. It's the American Music Awards in the year 1985. Prince is set to win an award. Well, somebody who possibly wanted to create some drama for the show, or maybe they just wanted to try to force Prince and Vanity back together, had the bright idea that Vanity would be the one on stage to present the award to Prince. And I know that most people are like, you know, Ashley, they don't know who's going to win until they actually get to the show, you know, so Vanity didn't know Prince was going to win, and I believe that Vanity did not know Prince was going to win. But I firmly believe that whoever made the decision for her to be handing off this award did indeed know that Prince was going to win. I just feel like they had that inside information. Anyway, they get to the award show. Vanity walks on stage, does her little presentation, and then she chooses the winner, and it's Prince. He comes walking up, he grabs his award, and he gives Vanity a small hug. He made his doggone speech, and anybody who was waiting for some hot messery or drama to go down was sorely disappointed because nothing happened on that stage. But if they knew what was going to happen behind the stage, possibly they would have stuck around to watch. Because allegedly, after the show, everybody is backstage and kind of outside and all of this good stuff, and Vanity is taking pictures with her friends. Soon, gossip claims that she is surrounded by men. Well, in the midst of this, allegedly, Prince just kind of appears and parts the crowd on out of the way, walks right up to Vanity, looking her dead in her eyes like he usually did, and handed her a single white or red rose. And there are several versions of this story, but in this version, when she examines the rose, there is a letter wrapped around the stem like a piece of paper. Vanity opens the paper to read it, and rumor has it that it says something like, "So this is what you like, huh? You like having all these men surround you like this? Well, just remember, baby, they can never make you feel like I made you feel. They can never do it like me because they're not Prince." And honey, you know Vanity was probably steamed up in the undercarriage, honey. But honey, when she looked up, whether she wanted to grab Prince and take him down through there or grab him and choke him, she couldn't do neither one because the folks say that Prince was gone with the wind. And it really seems like if either one of them truly wanted to win the other one back, at this point in time, it seems like they would have been able to. But gossip claims that they both just had way too much pride. Also, by this time, or very soon after this time, Vanity was already talking to the next man. And this was NIKKI SIXX from Motley Crue. NIKKI SIXX was probably one of the worst people that Vanity could date because this guy was a real life rock and roller. So he definitely lived the rock and roll lifestyle, and that means there were a multitude of drugs. So allegedly, it was while Vanity was with him or around this time period where she ended up upgrading to crack. The folks say that one time it became too much for NIKKI SIXX himself, child. The folks say that NIKKI SIXX ended up coming home, and when he came home, he caught Vanity freebasing. And I don't know if he said something to her or she just spotted him and went crazy. But gossip claims that as soon as Vanity looked at him, she started screaming like a banshee. And then came up to him and started clawing and slapping him in the face. Honey, the folks say that before NIKKI SIXX could even process what was going on, he had already swung and knocked Vanity to the side of the room. And actually, if you let NIKKI SIXX tell these stories, he pretty much said that Vanity was kind of toxic for him. Like he said that she also used to play mind games with him. Like one night they were chilling at her house this time. Suddenly there is a knock at the door. When Vanity goes and opens the door, there is this guy holding like a dozen roses in a vase. And when he hands it to her, there's a card on the roses. And Vanity walks back in the room with NIKKI SIXX and she's looking at the card and she's like, oh my God, it's Prince. He's telling me to drop you and take him back. And so NIKKI SIXX is kind of like, how dare he? You know what I'm saying? You're my woman. Like, you ain't gonna leave me for him, are you? So later on in life, when NIKKI SIXX was talking about this situation, he said that he felt now that Prince ain't sending no doggone flowers to Vanity. He said now knowing what he learned about her, a little later on, he said he feels like now that she sent those flowers herself. Like she set the whole thing up just basically to manipulate him. And he told another story about how he and Vanity were just at home, just getting high, doing all kind of drugs. And then she asked, will you marry me? Will you marry me? And NIKKI is high, and so he says yes. But he's not really thinking that much about it. He just wants to get back to his drugs. Well, baby, he says that a couple of days later, he turns on the TV or opens a magazine. I'm not sure exactly where it was. But Vanity is sitting there and have done an interview and basically told the world that she and NIKKI SIXX are engaged. And so I think he felt like that was also a manipulation tactic. Maybe he felt like Vanity knew him and that she should have known that he was just talking. I don't know. And then NIKKI SIXX and Tommy Lee further went on to tell stories that made it seem like Vanity, either she might have been suffering, from emotional problems or something like that, or maybe it was just completely the drugs. Let me tell you about it. So NIKKI SIXX said one time he was rehearsing with his band when Vanity just popped up out of the blue. She came in there like, hey guys, hey baby. Now this is while he's playing while he's rehearsing, she's hugging all on his neck, hanging all over him. So NIKKI SIXX ends up kind of pushing her away, like, chill, leave me alone, chill, I'm rehearsing. Honey said Vanity got up in his face like, what you gonna do if I don't? What you gonna do about it? Then she took off and got on a bicycle and started riding around the stage. Listen, I don't know. This is what I'm saying. It sounds like a whole bunch of high activities to me. Because why that girl go from there to riding a bike around the stage? Cha. And then Tommy Lee had his own stories, like I just told you. And he told a story that says that one time the band was rehearsing and Vanity shows up, and then in front of the whole band, she jumps on like this roadie case is what he called it. I don't know what that is. But she jumps on the case and she starts dancing. And then she turns it into a burlesque show. And if you guys know anything about burlesque, that's basically strip teasing. So I guess Vanity started kind of taking off her clothes in front of the whole band. And when Tommy Lee told this story, he was sure to say that when he first met Vanity, she was cool. But then he said, like, by the end of her and NIKKI SIXX's relationship, he just called Vanity weird. He said she was a weird person. Another person that Vanity was rumored to have dated was Mickey Free. And Mickey Free was one of the replacement members for Shalimar. And this next rumor, y'all, this is the one that shook me. I don't know if it's true. I truly don't want to believe it's true because I ain't gonna lie, if Vanity ended up dating this guy, then she really was being messy. Like, she really was trying to get back at Prince. And this one right here did not really come from a reputable source. That's why I'm saying, I don't really know I'm iffy about this one, but I'm gonna put this out there because, like I said, some of y'all acted like y'all really knew Vanity, so maybe y'all know the answer. But gossip claims that allegedly she ended up dating Andre Simone for a little while. But wasn't Andre and Simone and Prince close or something like that? Like, didn't he used to play guitar for Prince or something like that? I haven't really studied up on Andre Simone because he's not a subject in any of my videos except Shalimar, but that was kinda. But so I don't really know much about him. But if I'm not mistaken, he definitely had some association with Prince. I don't know, honey, but let's move on because gossip also claimed that she was messing around with Eddie Murphy. But this one right here, I honestly feel like people just didn't know what they were talking about on this one because, in fact, gossip also claims that her sister Patricia Matthews, the one that started Coming to America, was the one that actually messed around with Eddie Murphy. And he and Vanity were just pretty cool. Oh, baby, I got a rumor for y'all. Tell, honey. Ooh, kill him. Ooh, kill him. Y'all finna get killed. Baby, why come the folks say that when Vanity was signed with Motown and she was touring and singing with Motown, sometimes she sang with the DeBarges? Honey said before one of them doggone shows that Vanity and James DeBarge were in the dressing room and baby, they were getting lit. I mean, they were lighting it up, getting hot. Honey, don't you know that they say Miss Jackson, if you nasty, baby, bust through the doggone door and got all in Vanity's tail and was like, you get out of here. You get out of here with my doggone husband. Leave. Honey said Vanity disappeared into thin air, baby. Said baby dog got ghosts. Now, it may not have been no romanticism or nothing about that. Maybe they were just getting high together. Either one of them, Janet was not playing those games. All I can say about all of this stuff is clearly there were wild days with wild ways. And while all of that was going on in her personal life, on the business side, she was also doing her thing. Like I said, she starred in The Last Dragon. She released music with Motown, starred in a movie called Action Jackson, appeared in a movie called Deadly Illusion, and did many more. It seems that she was working as well as partying steady all the way up until the 90s. And that's when things really started to slow down for her because her body started to slow down on her. Too much drugs, too much hard living. Allegedly, Vanity started having visions at night. The folks say that one time around 1992, she was lying in bed at night and then she looked over at the wall and she saw demons crawling up the wall. Then said she turned her head away from the demon and kind of was laying on her back looking up and said that there was a lady floating on top of her. And then out of nowhere, child said she started choking Vanity. Allegedly, this episode scared Vanity so bad that also around 1992, she started to read her Bible more, but she was not completely through with the world, meaning she was still kind of hanging out, having a good time, and also doing drugs. And then in 1994, Vanity ended up overdosing, and this overdose could have easily been the end of her life because this overdose also brought on kidney failure. Severe. So severe that Vanity was on life support for 3 days after this overdose. By a miracle, Vanity ended up pulling through. Now, after this, I think she had to continuously do dialysis for the rest of her life, but at this moment, Vanity was just glad to be alive. Now things are gonna get quite mysterious because gossip claims that it was actually Vanity that overdosed. But when she woke up, she was Denise Matthews, and she was not even the same Denise Matthews from before. This was a new Denise Matthews. This new Denise Matthews had some people to gravitate to her and also made other people run away from her. It was a lot of people that became uncomfortable with this new Denise Matthews. For one, as soon as she woke up, baby, you could not call her Vanity anymore. While she was in her coma, she actually spoke to God. They actually had a conversation, and God told her that she had to renounce vanity, like the whole vanity persona, and drop everything with it, her career, everything. And that's the only way he would save her. And so when she woke up, she went home and she got rid of all of her taped interviews. She got rid of all of her music, all of her modeling photos, anything that had to do with her time in the entertainment industry. And although some people hated to see all of that hard work go down the drain, that's not really what bothered them. What bothered them is that whenever they would try to have a conversation with her, she would end up kind of preaching at them. She was chastising folks. You ain't living right. You ain't living the way God would want you to live. You need to clean up your act, sister. You need to clean up your act, brother. And some folks just couldn't get on with that. They didn't like that, especially the folks that knew that just a year ago or a couple of years ago, you was half naked dancing and smoking crack. So I guess they felt like they didn't like this judgmental attitude coming from her. But Vanity did not care one way or the other. She was going to do her. She let those people remove themselves right on out of her life, and she went on preaching her message. She went to a lot of conventions, a lot of churches, a lot of holy functions. She prophesied to people and she told her story, and she really just had a mission to really try to witness and save the world. Vanity believed that she had so much power from God, like God had instilled so much power in her, that she could actually see somebody on TV and say, you know what? That person right there, that person is meant to be something great. And this is how her behind ended up meeting professional football player Anthony Smith. She saw Anthony Smith on TV, and God came directly in her ear and basically told her, that man right there, he's supposed to be a preacher or a minister, or basically he had some sort of anointing on his life. And so she traveled from wherever she was, like I think a whole nother state or city at least, and came to where Anthony Smith was, and actually told him that she was sent by God to tell him there was a calling on his life. And then 3 days later, Vanity came to this man with another message. And that was the message that God had told her, that he was her husband, And she got down and she asked this man, will you marry me? Anthony Smith says yes, they get married. And I'm going to just keep it real. And y'all probably ain't going to agree with me. Y'all rarely do anyway. But I'm going to just keep it real. I usually don't speak on what God tells people and all this kind of stuff. But it really just don't feel like he told her to marry this man. I partly feel like Vanity saw that big old doggone man on that TV. She liked what she saw. And so she felt like God was telling her something, especially when it came to marrying him. And if you guys ever watched the video I did on Anthony Smith, then you would know why I feel this way. For those of you who have not watched this doggone video, let me tell you a snippet about it. But if you want the full deep dive on this doggone man, you need to watch this doggone video. Anyway, they get married, and right off the bat, Anthony Smith gets frustrated with Vanity, because Vanity has pretty much devoted her whole life into doing right by God and doing what God wants her to do. And Vanity had a huge thing about helping homeless people. And this used to frustrate Anthony Smith because Vanity used to sometimes have homeless people in and out of their houses. Some gossip claims that Anthony Smith came home one time and it was a homeless man in his doggone shower. Now, I think he actually got onto her tail about that one, and she never done that one again. But even after that, sometimes he said he would come home and pretty much all of the furniture would be gone out of the house because Vanity would have given that furniture away to somebody that she felt like needed it more. And also another thing that bothered him, I think, was Vanity used to give out their personal home phone number to strangers, complete strangers, and these people would call the house asking for money, just a lot going on. And when he would say something to Vanity about it, her thing was basically, I'm on a mission from God. This is what I was told to do. And so eventually, allegedly, this culminated with him busting Vanity upside the head. I guess, soon after that, when the beating started, God ended up giving her behind another message to leave him, because they ended up getting married in the year 1995, but then that very next year, 1996, their marriage was over because Vanity couldn't deal with this crazy behind man. If y'all watch that video, like I told y'all to watch, you will see where he ended up murdering several people after he and Vanity divorced. So that's why I said I'm just not really sure about God giving her the message to go and minister to this man and marry this man. That's my personal opinion. After this relationship, I do not believe that Vanity entered into another one. And per gossip, that is because soon she was kind of hoping that God would bring Prince back into her life. Vanity actually ended up doing an interview where she was asked about Prince. And she said, I'm kind of hoping that God would just supernaturally hook us up. That's what I'm hoping and praying for, because God has that power. So maybe he'll supernaturally hook me and Prince back up. And that right there is a fact. She actually did say that. So yes, Vanity was definitely still feeling Prince. Oh, but check me out. Gossip also claims that whenever Vanity got into one of her moods, honey said that she could be very harsh, and said that she also would get very defensive when it came to discussing Prince. Now, this right here came from an online comment board. I will put the link in the description. You guys can go read it there. And there basically was this girl that was saying that her friend had a conversation with Vanity, I think through some type of direct messenger, like an online messenger. And one day the friend ended up sending a picture of Prince, and it looked like he had like some evil jellyfishes around him or something like that. And she says, "Ooh, look at Prince. It looks like he's surrounded by some sort of evil jellyfishes. This is not a good look." And Vanity allegedly responds, "Prince is evil. In fact, he's not a good person at all, and that's because he does not have Jesus in his life." And the friend, the one that's conversing with Vanity, she replies back, "I don't think Prince is evil. The Prince you remember, that's a long time ago. He's really changed from when you used to date him." Baby said Vanity blew up and typed back in all caps, "Why? Did you date him? Are you dating him right now or something?" And said the girl replied, "Well, no, I'm not dating Prince. But again, it's been like 30 years since you dated Prince. And so Prince now is a changed man." Now she knew she messed up, baby. Said Vanity replied, "We were soulmates." And this is why I hate talking to Prince's fans. I don't deal with none of his fans. Said that Vanity said so much, baby, by the end of the conversation, Vanity had told that girl that she was going to hell right along with Prince because they did not know Jesus, because they were both Jehovah's Witnesses. And yes, I condensed that into something much smaller. Once again, if you guys want to read the whole conversation, you can just click the link below. If I'm not mistaken, it's the first comment. Another woman ended up writing an actual article about Vanity and how Vanity was talking to her. Whatever platform this was, Vanity was online selling jewelry. So the girl knew everything about Vanity. She was a fan, and she also knew about Vanity's health problems. And so she felt like, I want to buy something from you so I can support you. So Vanity told her thank you. She conversed with the girl a little while longer, and the girl placed her order. Well, a long time went by, maybe even some months, and this girl had not received her jewelry yet. She reaches back out to Vanity to say, "Hey, Miss Denise, I have not received my jewelry yet." Baby said Vanity, aka Denise, responded real short, nasty, and snappy. Like she was very irritated that the girl was checking on her product. So, the girl is feeling like, "I love you, Miss Vanity, aka Denise, but this is my money." But the girl said she kind of just chalked it up because she knew that Vanity was going through an illness, so she just let it go. Well, the jewelry finally did arrive to her. She reached out to let Vanity know that she had received the jewelry, and Vanity was back nice again. Baby, that girl said that jewelry fell apart within the month, honey. Said that she had spent $100 going down the drain buying that doggone jewelry. That's down there in the description too. Y'all can go read their article. And these are just some of the interactions and conversations that people had with Vanity, because online there are tons of them if you actually research. Allegedly, she told more than a few people that her and Prince really did keep in touch. But there was this one guy out there saying that Vanity told him that she and Prince keep in touch. But then when he asked her, like, "Oh, really? Like, what do y'all talk about?" Said that Vanity said, "We don't really talk about anything. Sometimes my phone just rings, and when I pick it up, there's breathing on the other end of the phone. But I know it's Prince. I know it's Prince." Then you got other people that say that she told them that money sometimes comes in her account, and I guess she doesn't really know where the money comes from. And so she said Prince sent the money, and maybe he did. So like I said, allegedly she said that Prince stayed in contact with her and also sent her money from time to time. Now, by 1997, Denise Matthews, I'm going to start back calling her that because that is what she wanted, especially by the time she passed away. So by 1997, she did end up getting a kidney transplant. However, by the 2010s, nothing had really improved because gossip claims that she actually was in need of another kidney. But it's claimed when the doctors actually tried to put her on the list for a kidney, that is when Denise told them no, she don't want a new kidney. She believed that God was going to heal her supernaturally because she had that much faith and she knew that God had the power to do it. Unfortunately, though, that was not in the plans for Denise Matthews. And in 2015, she was diagnosed with sclerosing encapsulating peritonitis. And then on February the 15th, 2016, she ended up passing away from kidney failure. And there's one more little tea drop I want to put out because there are these videos on YouTube, and I'm going to tell you two videos where you can really see the difference in when she was said to be high, alleged to be high and doing drugs, and when she wasn't. The interview where she appears like she is super high on something will be the first YouTube video that you see pinned in the description box. And then the YouTube video where she seems like she is sober and she is talking about God and she really truly appears really free and really happy, that is on the second YouTube video that's pinned in the description. So anyways, you guys go and click all of those links in the description, watch all of the videos, read all of the articles, all of that good stuff. This is the end of the old Hollywood scandalous tale of Miss Vanity, aka Miss Denise Matthews. Leave your comments and thoughts. Once again, you ain't got to agree with me or anybody here. Only thing I ask is for you guys to keep it respectful. Tell me though what you think, honey. Also, if you liked this video, then actually like the doggone video. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. And for all of y'all stinking tails that just doggone sitting on the doggone fence, go ahead and subscribe, child. You sitting up here showing up for the doggone video, but won't click the button. It's just messy. What, child? Anyway, y'all, I'm tired of putting on for y'all. Like and subscribe. Love y'all so much. Bye.